What is going on, guys? Today we're going to be talking about the most important play in the NBA, and that is the pick and roll. So as everybody knows, the NBA has transitioned over the last decade from the isolation heavy days of the 90s and early 2000s into the spread pick and roll and motion offenses pioneered by the Spurs and Mike D'Antoni's Phoenix Suns. And nowadays, pretty much every team in the NBA is reliant upon the pick and roll to initiate their offense. And as you're going to see based on this chart, the frequency of pick and rolls in the NBA has been steadily increasing over the past 6 years, which gives you an idea of how NBA offenses operate. This next chart shows the pick and roll efficiency in points per possession over the past decade, and as you can see, efficiency has kind of tailed off as teams are starting to figure out how to defend the pick and roll. For example, the Miami Heat popularized the idea of blitzing the pick and roll by doubling hard at the ball handler, and the Clippers are an example of a team that will always try and hedge no matter what. So strategies like hedging and blitzing and icing have played a major role in slowing down the efficiency of the pick and roll, but what will NBA offenses do to counteract it? Because despite the drop-off in efficiency, teams are still running the pick and roll very frequently and don't show any signs of slowing down. So to answer this question, I looked at pick and rolls from the top 5 teams in the league in efficiency last year: the Warriors, the Raptors, the Clippers, the Blazers, and the Spurs. And the common thread that I noticed from 4 out of these 5 teams, excluding the Clippers, is that they have great success in utilizing what's called the ram screen to initiate their pick and roll. So for those of you who don't know, a ram screen is when you screen for the person who's about to set a ball screen. This is the Warriors zipper pick and roll set, and this screen that Spate sets for Thompson is the ram screen. And what the ram screen does essentially is make it impossible for the defense to hedge. This is a play that a few NBA teams run called 25 because the 2-guard will ram screen for the center. And notice here that DeAndre Jordan wants to hedge but knows he's too late from the ram screen, which gives Damian Lillard space to operate, and Jordan tries to tread water but ultimately gives Damian Lillard a free lane to the basket. Here, Ginobili sets the ram screen for Duncan, making Marc Gasol late to the scene, and he ends up looking flat out lost with his back to Tony Parker. Now, like I said, the Clippers don't use the ram screen much to initiate their offense, but this did lead me to something that helps to explain philosophically why the ram screen is so effective. It's the same reason that DeAndre Jordan is a successful off-ball screener. His defender thinks, he's not a threat to shoot, I should pack the lane and be ready to help. But what this actually creates is a ton of space for when Jordan sets off-ball screens, making his defender unable to show or even help. This is the same reason that teams use the ram screen in the pick and roll. The more space between the help defender and the ball handler, the better. Same way that Jordan's defender is too far out of the play to make an impact, Brook Lopez is too far behind from the ram screen here to even think about hedging on Damian Lillard. Let's look now at how teams try to defend the ram screen. So some coaches are stubborn and want their team to hedge no matter what, but that creates plays like this where Anthony Davis is sprinting back because he's late and ends up creating a wide open lane for Damian Lillard. Same exact play here where Mozgov will sprint because he knows he's late to hedge, but he ends up with his back turned to Damian Lillard as he's shooting a 3. Here, Lowry sets the ram screen on Spates and he'll again try and sprint into his hedge, which will leave Scola wide open on a roll to the basket. Back to the Warriors zipper pick and roll here, and notice that even when a guard is quick enough to get back into the play, his inability to hedge allows Curry to make a quick crossover and get an easy lane to the basket. So in addition to hedging, a lot of teams will try and contain, meaning that the screener's man will sag into the paint and try and prevent the drive, but the Pelicans do it here, and what it ends up doing is giving David West a wide open jump shot. Same scenario here where Draymond Green will contain, and that will open up a wide open mid-range for Tony Parker, which he misses, but that's far from ideal for the defense. And in this play, Mason Plumlee will try and contain, but the threat of Lowry's jump shot leaves him off balance, the defense collapses, and he ends up committing a foul. Now let's look at some variations that teams use involving the ram screen, and here's a play the Raptors run called Ram Stagger, where one big man will ram screen for the other, and then the trailing big will screen for whoever covers the ball handler. And it's a really great action, and notice here when Joseph puts Kyrie in jail, he has all 5 Cavalier defenders looking at him as he gets a wide open look for the basket. This is a variation I really like where the Warriors will run motion weak and Iguodala will screen for Bogut, but instead of posting up, Bogut will go into the pick and roll with Curry, leaving Ashik too far out of the play and creating an open lane for Steph Curry. And here's the Warriors play called Wedge Roll, where Iguodala sets the ram screen for Green, leaving Shumpert too slow to recover, which creates confusion and leaves Draymond wide open on the roll. Maybe the best Warriors set here where they'll use Barnes' ram screen as a decoy, which allows Klay Thompson to cut backdoor for the easy layup. sloppy execution here, but this is one of the most creative sets you'll see where the Sixers use elevator doors as a ram screen for Nerlens Noel, and it actually works out pretty well, although Noel does miss the dunk here. Well, there you have it, guys. I hope you're as convinced as I am of the effectiveness of the ram screen in the pick and roll. And since the NBA is a league of parity and the efficiency of the pick and roll is in the decline, I think we can all expect to see an increase in ram screens this year in the NBA. So thanks for watching. Leave me a comment if you want to see more predictions like this in the future.